Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for the very first episode of Twilight Romance, a game by Genius Inc. I'm quite excited about this because it looks like there's going to be action, and that's what I've really been missing from some of the games. I like fantasy and all, but I crave action and horror. Horror above all, but, it's kind of lacking in Otome games. A lot of women don't like horror as much as I do, so that's understandable. But at least we can include some action, and women should still be happy, a lot of us. So again, be forewarned, most of the companies that I'm playing the games of, I've been in contact with them, and in order to keep my channel from being deleted, when I ask for their consent and their conditions, I am not allowed to give away the endings, so I'll be reading partially through the routes. So, if you'd like, you could read along with me. So once we get to the point where I can't read any further, then you can keep reading past that. And if this game has one of those things where we can add friends and all, I'll go ahead and give you all my friend code, and you can join me, and if I get too many friends, I can rotate friends or whatever. And that could be fun for us all to go through together like that. So anyway, let's check out Twilight Romance. I plan on playing Shion first, because I like that dark, moody guy that he seems to be. I like them all, though. Just looking at them here on the screen and reading the descriptions, I'm excited to date every single guy here. So, hope you are too. Let's get started. Yes, first read the prologue, certainly. Oh, I don't even have a default name, so alright, I'll be Dirili. I need a different name. It's always weird for me putting Dirili in there. But I can't think of anything else at the moment. My last name? Oh, alright, Dirili D, as usual. I'm so uninventive when I'm on the spot. Start the prologue now. I used to think every day was going to be the same, until I met those who live in the Twilight. The summer of my high school junior year was about to begin. We bought so much. Oh man, I'm gonna be so broke this month. The passerby and the others that aren't interesting, they just seem to pass by. Nothing there to see. I was downtown hanging out with my best friend Sei Hishiki on a weekend evening. Hey, Dirili, do you not hear me? Oh, don't get mad about it. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. It was fun to hang out with Sei. School was also decent, so I had virtually nothing to complain about. Though, something seemed to be lacking. Adventure! I looked up again and glanced at the crowd of people. The city was beginning to light up, as if to resist the twilight that was getting closer each minute. It was at that moment. Those red eyes! They look pink to me. But whatever, they're pretty. The crowd stopped moving, as if time had stopped. He was in the center of that crowd. His translucent fair skin, hair like silver, and vermilion eyes, vivid like they were dyed with blood. A shade of red that sparked brightly, yet remained deep in color. Stop! Don't let me remember it! The darkness suddenly seemed to deepen. Chills went down my spine. I know this color. Dirili! What's wrong? Sei's voice brings me back into reality. Was that post-traumatic stress syndrome? I looked around to see that people were walking by normally, and that pair of red eyes had disappeared. I guess I'm a little worn out. The spot where I saw the person with red eyes was now empty. Was it just my imagination? Doubtful, I looked around once more. I instead found a familiar face in the crowd. A wild and sexy one. I wonder if he's headed to play b-ball again. Oh, I know him? He was Akira Kukuminato, my childhood friend from the family I also currently happen to stay with. He seemed to notice me and approached me with a wide smile. Look at that goofy smile. He's so cute.
Hey, Dirili, what's up with the blank stare you've got?
You look like you're going to play basketball again. Well, why don't you just join the team already? With his cheerful personality, Akira was quite popular at school. Even though we went to the same high school, I felt a growing distance between us, and I was only able to comment back with a biting tone. Hold up! Don't leave me out! Sei jumps in to break our awkward silence.
Sorry, Sei. It's only that I noticed her first.
And because I'm much prettier. Don't you two live in the same place? So, does that mean? Nope. They're letting me use the wing, so it's not exactly the same place. Seeing my attempt to further distance myself, Sei gives me a frustrated look.
Yeah, little Mr. Really. You're always like that.
I quickly got away from Akira to avoid getting pat on the head. Aw, I like being pat on the head. Stop treating me like a little kid. We're in high school now.
Yeah, but you're so small.
That's no reason to treat me like a child. Seeing Akira get somehow embarrassed, I let out a small sigh. More like you are a bit too tall. I looked away and didn't realize that Akira was looking at me wistfully. Wistfully, huh?
Hey, I'm headed to play basketball with my bros. Would you girls want to come?
Me, not so much. Really? Sure, let's go, Dirili. You're gonna drag me along with you? I gave in to Say's enthusiasm and got dragged over to the basketball court. I don't think I'll ever forget what happened there. Oh, so it's not just basketball. We arrived at the vacant lot with a single basketball hoop. Even though the area had some lighting, this place felt rather chilly and unsettling. Wowa! I didn't know a place like this existed.
Akira, you took forever. My bad. I found Dirili and Say and bought them over. That's why I'm late.
He bought chicks, man. Forgive him.
Oh, that's Dirili from our class? Akira, dude.
I felt slightly relieved to see my classmates gathered together. I know it's not summer yet, but this place felt cold for some reason. Is there a ghost? What's wrong with me?
Alright, you two join us. Maybe not with that outfit.
Despite my deadpan nod, Akira cheerfully continued to speak.
Watch me win this game, Dirili. You too, Say.
You're just blatantly obsessed with Dirili. Akira responded with a sheepish grin and ran toward the classmates. So, Dirili, tell me honestly, what's your take on this? What do you mean by that? Pretending not to understand her intention didn't work this time. Say continues. There are many other girls obsessed with Akira, you know. That's none of my business.
Mitakawa, stick to the rules, man.
Akira's voice brightly resonates in the vacant lot.
Can't let you steal the show.
Sorry, it's hard for me to remember voices of guys that I can't see pictures of. So, sorry if I screw that up a little. Akira has a very outstanding personality, so he's often invited by not only the basketball team, but many other sports teams too. Can't believe he's not joining any team just because he wants to go walk home with me after school. Aww, if that's not a clear sign that he wants to go out with you, what is? You can't possibly take that any other way. A popular childhood friend lives with you, in the same house. It's like the stars are lined up so perfectly, yet you... Say usually isn't sarcastic, but it hurt a little hearing these words. Say, the reason I'm staying at Akira's place is because of that incident. Say widened her eyes and became quiet. She then spoke in an apologetic manner. I'm sorry. Yeah, you lost your parents in that incident. My parents were found dead, their blood drained from their bodies. I began to wonder when the incidents where the victims were being drained began to take place. That's when I first saw those red eyes. I shuddered at the thought of it. Have I been doing investigating on my own? But, considering what you've been through, it'd be nice if someone like Akira could be with you. We wouldn't be a good couple. Akira's so popular. And I'm not, I guess, huh? Come on! If you keep being like that, then I'm gonna go for him instead. Not sure what to say, I looked in a random direction. Ugh! In that direction, I spotted a gorgeous individual. The one with the red eyes that are currently green. Skin like white snow porcelain, almost unreal platinum white hair. For a second, I thought this person was a woman. How did he get so close without us noticing? He reminded me of the pair of red eyes I saw earlier downtown. Didn't that guy also look like him?
Here you are.
Excuse me? I asked, looking into his eyes. They weren't red at all. The pair of eyes reflecting the light of the lot was colored emerald green. Of course they aren't red.
Good evening. It's interesting to see basketball being played similarly here in this country.
Good evening. His greeting was accompanied by a dazzling smile that was almost blinding. Good evening. You're not from this country, are you?
Ah, where are my manners? I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Ray Appleby. I just flew in from England, and I have no idea where I am.
So you're lost. He seemed to be enjoying the situation, even though he said he was lost. Not to mention his radiant smile was mesmerizing. Both Sei and I were dumbstruck as our eyes followed his every move.
Whoa, what's going on, Akira?
Suddenly, Akira barged in, leaving the game behind. He confronted Leo, hiding me and Sei behind his back. He senses something here.
Who are you?
You reek of trouble.
Wow, Akira, that was uncalled for. Despite being accused, Leo casually laughed it off.
Who would have thought the Mutts would be here too, of all places?
I couldn't make out what Leo had muttered under his breath.
Mr. Leo, this is where you have been.
In the midst of the tense air, a peaceful voice resonated. I turned around toward the voice, and there was a refined-looking man smiling at us. All of us blankly stared at his smile that oozed kindness, except for Akira, whose face froze.
Oh, Albert, were you looking for me? Of course, Master. Please refrain from straying from our designated meeting spot. I was trying to find Ray. Master Ray as well. Oh, the recklessness of you two.
Everyone was totally following their conversation now.
Oh, I guess they're just visiting.
Despite his words, Akira did not relax his stiff expression. I wonder why Akira isn't being himself.
I'm much obliged for you keeping Master Leo company. Dealing with his fickleness is no easy task.
As Albert looked at me to express his gratitude, his eyes widened for a split second. What is it about me? However, that was quickly masked by his gentle smile.
I apologize, Albert. Why don't we go look for Ray afterwards?
After what?
We shall do that. Let us head to the mansion then. See you later then.
He chuckled lightly as he shot a mesmerizing, flirtatious look. I knew Akira was worrisomely looking at me as my eyes followed Leo as he left the scene. Jealous? But I pretended not to notice, because I was more excited about the possibility of something new beginning. Something exciting! Even after those mysterious two left, the basketball game continued on for a while. The sun had set, and the only light available was not quite bright enough.
Hey, we should head back. It's game over. Akira destroyed us again.
All right. Should we call it a day then?
Akira, you're going to quit before we catch up?
Yeah, Akira, great game. Hey, Dirili, you say something too. Sei elbowed me as I said to Akira. Yeah, good game indeed.
Thanks.
Akira responded with a big familiar smile that I was fond of since childhood. I wonder if it's me that's changed. My train of thought was disrupted by a loud yelling voice.
Who do you think you are? Ugh.
I looked in the direction of the voice and saw Minakawa getting kicked to the ground.
Minakawa, are you alright?
Akira made a dive toward Minakawa, but the attacker swiftly distanced himself. The face of the attacker looked somehow familiar. Where have I seen that face before?
Huh, this one smells gross. Yukari, how are things on your side?
A woman with glamorous dark hair silently appeared behind the attacker and stared at me without emotion. She's creepy as hell. Realizing that her eyes were red sent chills down my spine. I recommend that girl, over there.
Smells tasty.
As he said so, he turned his eyes toward me. His eyes were also a fresh blood red. Not again! It was the same shade of red that had haunted me since I was little. My body didn't move. However, the bright pair of eyes were coming closer. I couldn't even scream.
Keep your hands off her.
I opened my eyes that I had unknowingly closed and saw Akira in between me and the red glare.
Wow, filthy mutts anywhere you go. You smell exactly like the two that came earlier. Whatever. Let me finish you first and savor her blood. I'd like to see you try.
The moment Akira yelled back, a gunshot echoed.
That's it, boys.
Oh, he looks so cool. That's why I'm choosing him first. A man dressed in black was pointing his gun. Another guy, also with a gun, shows up behind him. Oh, he looks cool too, but he's not an option for dating, I don't think. I want to date him too.
Shion, you're too damn fast. Alright. This ends here and now. You need to work out more, Akahoshi.
Perhaps because the two guns were pointing at him, the attacker swore under his breath.
Damn hunters. Yukari, get rid of them.
As you wish. The dark-haired woman with the red outfit suddenly lunged toward the two men with the gun. She held a short sword with a black blade and black grip, decorated with red gems in both of her hands. It's been a while, my dear brother. You now call yourself Shion, is that correct?
Yukari, what are you?
Her blow got defended by Shion's gun barrel.
What are you looking at? You seriously believe you have time to focus elsewhere?
Oh, it looks so cool! I really like the art and the stances and stuff in this game.
Ugh!
While all of us had our attention on the fight, the person with red eyes had gashed Akira's arm with a black knife. Akira!
Dirili, get back!
But you're bleeding!
It's okay.
I inched back as directed. Then Sei came running toward me. Dirili, are you alright? Yeah, but not Akira. Akira so far had been dodging the strikes, looking for chances to counter.
Huh, you're starting to piss me off. You don't even have time to waste your breath.
Akira grinned, then delivered a sharp blow, slamming the black knife to the ground. At that exact moment,
That's it, Yukari.
a pair of guns were pointing straight at the woman dressed in red.
Out we go. Leave them, Yukari.
And like that, the attackers quickly vanished. Suddenly, everything became quiet, as if nothing had just happened. I collapsed to my knees, and Akira came running.
Are you alright, Dirili?
Seeing Akira worry about me before himself made me feel guilty. He's always like that, putting himself after me.
Hey, you guys. Anybody hurt?
Akira got his arm cut.
Show it to me.
However, immediately after seeing the wound, the guy named Shion said,
It's not a bite mark. Just treat it normally.
Normally? I couldn't help but respond in a questioning tone. Akira's face somehow brightened up hearing that.
Oh, thanks. You're worried about me.
Akira patted the top of my head. No avoiding it that time. The weight of his hand felt uncomfortable, and I looked down.
Oh, I envy the young. Now, can I have your attention? Could everyone look at this man over here?
What, are you going to erase our memories? Don't look! Oh, he pulled a Men in Black. At that second, the eyes of the man dressed as Shion turned red.
How does Shion's power not work?
We should be more concerned with what to do with him now.
So it didn't work on any of us? All of the classmates have gone home now. No, more like, we're manipulated to go home, even Sei. Okay, so it was only me. Everyone just collapsed as if they fainted. Well, all except Akira and I. Well, I know why Akira, but I don't know why me. Once everyone got up, they had forgotten what just happened.
If Shion's memory manipulation ability isn't working, then they're going to have to be escorted.
I agree, but we'll need to make sure the headquarters gives us the order.
What are you guys talking about? We got assaulted. Shouldn't we be going to the police?
Actually, we are the police.
Akira looked at them with confusion.
So, I'm Tamotsu Akahoshi, and this unfriendly one is Shion Mayazumi. We're a special kind of police. Yeah, you think saying that would make us believe you guys? Let's go, Dirili. Hold on just a second. Let us escort you on the way back, for identification purposes as well.
Akahoshi hastily blocked our exit. Is there anything to prove that you guys are legitimate officers? Like some badges, maybe?
Here, we have our badges.
Should have shown us those first. He handed us his credentials. Akahoshi did the same.
Alright, with that and your matching guns, I suppose I'll have to trust you guys. Thanks for the understanding. Well, this is a special case, so do refrain from talking about it with others.
Indeed, it is a special case.
Seeing me nod in agreement, Akira reluctantly agreed with him. The next morning, despite what had happened, our classroom atmosphere had not changed a slight bit. This feels weird.
Hey, Dirili, are you thinking about what I'm thinking about?
I'm thinking, why is your coat hanging off you, showing your sexy shoulders like that? Akira, seated to my left, stealthily whispers, We promised not to talk about that. Oh, what are you whispering to each other about? None of your business. Sei sat down in the empty seat to my right and began teasing me. We didn't have many students in our class, so there were empty seats here and there. Sei, stop doing that. Sorry. Anyway, did you hear about the transfer students? Odd they chose to change to our school. Oh, transfer students? That's what I heard. Apparently a few students have already seen them. And, speak of the devils, our homeroom teacher walked in, followed by the two transfer students. Sei quickly snuck back to her assigned seat. My assigned seat was closer to the corridor, but Sei's seat was by the window, where the sun directly hit.
Go back to your seat, Sei Hishiki. We have new students. Be a role model.
The whole class got rowdy from the excitement of having transfer students. I stared in disbelief at the new students. Yep, as expected. The guy from yesterday, Leo, and the red-eyed attacker were standing side by side, wearing our school uniform.
We have new students, actually twin brothers from England, Leo and Ray Appleby.
Their introduction sounded further away as I remained in a state of shock.
Dirili, you okay?
Our homeroom teacher had left, and we were waiting for the first class to begin. Akira, seeing me in a silent panic state, asked in a concerned tone of voice. Only Akira and I knew that Ray was the attacker from last evening, but we weren't allowed to share that information.
Is everything all right?
Even worse, Leo was sitting to my right. Our homeroom teacher, taking in the fact that Leo was an albino, decided to assign Leo to the seat furthest away from the sunlight. Ah, albino, huh? The one next to mine. Ray, the attacker, on the other hand, sat in a seat close to Sei, adding to my concern. Sure.
Why did you ignore me when I asked earlier?
I pretended not to hear Akira grumble and faced Leo.
Is this your first time seeing an albino in person?
Wait, he's not an albino. An albino has pink eyes, don't they? I'm pretty sure that doesn't just apply to rabbits. Or is he wearing contacts? Yes, it is. I've just read about albinism and the absence of pigments.
That's right. I don't produce melanin due to some gene mutation.
While Leo happily conversed with me, Akira stared at us with obvious jealousy. The bell signaling the beginning of the first period rang, and the teacher walked in.
Good morning, class. Please, take a seat. Wow, wasn't he there yesterday too?
The one who walked in was Albert, the reserved man that was with Leo last evening.
Good day, pardon me, my friends. My name is Albert Blackstone.
He began introducing himself, walking around the classroom while everyone looked dumbfounded.
I am your substitute teacher, while your teacher is on maternity leave. It's my pleasure to meet you all.
What is going on? I looked down, perplexed, but only to meet a handsome face peering at me. My heart jumped.
Are you not feeling well, young lady?
No, yes, I'm all right. My heart raced as I answered. Akira looked at me worrisomely. Our classroom was dyed pink from the sunset, and everyone was packing up to head home. It's been a long day. I'm going straight home after everything that's been happening lately. Sounds like a good plan. But at the same time, I had always been hoping for something new and exciting to happen, but maybe not so dangerous.
Dirili, let's head back.
Could I join you two on your way back?
Why should we allow you?
Is that not allowed?
Oh, he's actually mad. As I was getting flustered, not knowing how to deal with this awkward situation, an announcement came through the speaker.
Let's see if this button is correct. Am I on? D. Dirili. D. Dirili. Please come to the rec room.
I had no clue why I was being called up, and that announcement was obviously out of place. Seriously, what's going on? I feel like Akira should come with me just to be safe. Confused, I arrived at the rec room. Leo and Akira volunteered to come with me. However, I had no idea that what was going to happen would have a lasting effect on me afterward. Inside, I saw...
Starting today, you'll have to be escorted.
Shion, that was a rather abrupt opener. We need to explain more.
Mr. Albert and the two police officers from last night were there. I was dazed with disbelief as I listened to Akahoshi explain. I was involved in a special case, and they were officers under the Special Case Crime Investigation Division.
Why only Dirili?
You honestly should know the reason.
Ugh.
So, it sounds like my brother is also involved in this. Let me help as well.
If my master should desire it, I shall help too. How could I trust an outsider to keep Dirili safe?
Let the professionals handle this.
I was about to get a migraine from all these reminders of my past, but I couldn't deny the subtle excitement underneath. Those red eyes, the abnormal and mysterious incidents. My ordinary life that I took for granted was starting to fall apart. Although part of me resisted such change, for the most part I was thrilled at the thought of someone else shattering my uneventful days. And that is the end of the prologue. But in the next episode, we are going to start with Shion because, yeah, he's the one for me. Definitely. 100% my type. I'm definitely really liking all the guys, but Shion, man, he's the one. Yeah, this game is definitely promising to me. I'm liking it. I hope some of you all out there are interested in it too. And I hope to see you in the next video or some of my other ones. And don't forget, you can download this from the Google or iTunes store and play it along with me. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.